What's a sign that someone grew up poor? The mental struggle to buy anything and not feel guilty. Scanning the menu for the cheapest options possible when at a restaurant. It's okay, the soup is really enough for me. Never buying clothing at full price. It just feels illegal. When I was in elementary school, a girl asked me why all my shirts were just solid color and not brand name logo shirts. Made me feel insecure. So I'm going to go with an obvious answer here: clothing and style. I still wear my clothes until they have holes and stains. I have the money to buy new brand name clothes, but why? I'm not trying to impress anyone. In the US, I'd say poor dental history or teeth. Dental work is a luxury. Overall, I'd say many hoarders grew up poor because they are so afraid of not having something if they'll need it, so they keep everything. A personal anecdote. For backstory, I'm the primary financial provider for my wife and I, but I really don't care what she does with our money. If our bills are paid and we have food to eat, I'm fine. I grew up fairly poor, so I never really bought anything for myself, or asked for anything to be bought for me. A few months ago, a video game I had wanted to play was on sale for like $2.50, and I said to my wife, "Hey, can I buy this?" Not really because I wanted permission, but because I hadn't logged in to check our financial state and didn't know if the money was already set aside for bills. But she looked at me and said, "Did you just ask permission to buy a $2.50 game with your own money?" So I'd say the hesitance to buy anything for yourself, regardless of how stupidly cheap it was. Will eat all of the food on their plate, even after feeling full, because they can't waste food. Still being marveled by an ice maker and side-by-side doors. I have poverty toes. We didn't have a lot of money growing up, so shoes were worn until they died, regardless of fit. My toes are curled and with prominent knuckles from being scrunched into too small shoes. Hesitant to go to the doctor when medical care is needed because of copays, even if they can afford it. Spending any windfall money. The bone-deep certainty that money will just go away. There will always be another surprise bill or the car will break down. If you get some extra money, you buy the kids a trampoline because for once you don't have to say no, we can't afford that. I wasn't in the know with all the cool Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon shows. But I did watch Arthur, Cyberchase, Clifford, and Dragon Tales. Having duplicates of essentials. You develop a prepper mentality for every just-in-case situation. Still being poor. Odd hoarding behaviors of things you probably should have gotten rid of out of fear you won't be able to replace them easily. I keep a stack of boxes broken down because there's still this fear in the back of my mind that I'll have to move again at a moment's notice. I make a decent salary now and have lived where I am for nearly 7 years, but I still can't part with those boxes despite the space they take up. Under the bed, behind the chest of drawers. Yeah. I still have them. Lack of exposure to cultural events. Missing out on experiences that others may take for granted, such as attending concerts, traveling, or participating in extracurricular activities. I grew up poor and my husband grew up middle class. Whenever we have guests, I am constantly asking people if they got enough food. Is anyone still hungry? I can make something else. My husband will inquire about the quality of the food and if it is to everyone's liking. I think when you grow up poor, food is very much quantity over quality. Difficulty throwing things away. For me, I have what I call poverty mentality. While I can afford new shoes and clothes, they have to be falling apart for me to replace. Immense financial anxiety.